We be jamming, from the old school to the new, from the streets to the court. This is basketball like you've never seen it before. You got game, we got Slam Dunk, your basketball authority. Slam Dunk, powered by Engine.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Slam getting today's show. It's an experience of a lifetime, as 12 South African boys and girls get to feel the sights and sounds of the Big Apple. And we travel to the capital, Washington, D.C., for some more fun with the Engine All-Star Basketball Tour. But first, let us test your basketball knowledge with today's question. At the beginning of the 2001 basketball season, which player born in New York donated $1 million to help the victims of the 9/11 attacks? Would it be A, Magic Johnson, B, Michael Jordan, or C, Shaquille O'Neal? The answer later in the show.
So there's no suspicion of where we're heading out to today. Statue of Liberty, France's gift to the USA. We'll be able to check it out in real life this time, not in the movies. We're taking a boat there. The weather's a bit grimy in New York terms, but we should be all right, because even with the fog, we bust through. Siyabonga Wegazi, Slam Dunk for show. Yamampela, Yisho Leyo. I'm out.
While the violins are playing a familiar tune representing democracy and equality, we are feeling the American vibe today, with the All-Star team displaying the right stuff. These intrepid travelers are about to trace the same steps where thousands have gone before them, all in hope of finding opportunity and new beginnings. Next to the flag, it is the United States' most famous symbol for freedom and an icon for the immigrant. Liberty's torch stretches to the sky for all the world to see.
Once again, welcome aboard. We are now on our way to the Statue of Liberty at Liberty Island.
So let's break it down with some history. The people of France gave the statue to the people of the USA over 100 years ago in recognition of the friendship established during the American Revolution. The 7 rays on the statue's crown reflect the 7 seas and continents of the world. It was designed by the same man who created the Eiffel Tower, but built by Auguste Bartholdi. This massive iron structure has a skin made entirely out of copper, 2.37 millimeters thick. But it is a chemical reaction caused between metal and water that has given the symbol of welcome its distinctive color through oxidation.
The Statue of All-Stars.
While the All-Stars were embarking on their own transatlantic journey, it was time to visit Ellis Island, the gateway through which 12 million immigrants passed between 1892 and 1954 in search of economic opportunity and a better life. The All-Star dreams of today and the hopes of immigrants 100 years ago resonated a common parallel as Nshla and Sia go one-on-one.
Let's talk about this trip. I know you've visited so many continents, so many countries. How different is this one from all the others?
First thing first, I think New York is a beautiful country, really beautiful country. And I've been learning a lot in New York. And the most thing that I learned is the history of New York. Sure, it's unbelievable. And the facilities that they have for basketball, it's unbelievable. Yeah, I learned a lot in New York. I think as we still have like more days, we're gonna learn more, because we're gonna go to Washington, and I'm looking forward to see what is going on there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mase sikhuluma basketball. Just looking at the basketball side of things. There's no chance of we are a Madison Square Garden fete. You sat in the chair that Stefan Marbury sits in before he goes in school, in front of probably thousands and thousands of fans. For me, as a player, never mind being a presenter, it was something else. Can you relate how you felt?
Yeah, man, I felt great, man. I believe that, hey, maybe one day I'm gonna be sitting in that chair.
Sure, Baba.
Yeah.
Sure.
Historically, like I said, I never knew that America was so interesting, like its history, you know, and the Statue of Liberty.
Let's talk about Ilokuzana. When you went to Madison Square Garden, you got a chance to stay in the locker room where every basketball player has been into. How was that like?
Ah, just an amazing experience.
Sure.
I never knew. Actually, I don't really know all those players.
Sure.
But then just being in there, you know, just makes me feel like one day I want to be there, man.
2-3 zone. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
Following on from last week, the All-Stars had a head-to-head clash with a team from the Bronx, in which the girls and boys both lost their games. But one player definitely caught the eye of the American coaches with his skill and agility. KZN superstar Ayanda Zakwe. Come on!
When you played the game, what would you say was the biggest difference game-wise between the guys from South Africa and then the guys from the States?
Oh, bro. To me, there wasn't much difference, bro. Just that we were like expecting, we were scared, bro. They said the team that we're playing is average. You know what average means in America? Oh, we're expecting like bigger guys than us, but yeah, we got like under 17, so yeah. They come out there with hard, they go out there to ball, bro, and it wasn't a big difference.
You got 5 more, you are done.
For head boys coach Craig Daniels, the loss was not significant when compared to the greater plan and purpose of what the strip is all about.
Timothy, 1, 2, 3.
The greatest learning out of this trip is that it doesn't always have to happen on the basketball court. Your basketball learning takes place all the time, all the time. So if you don't have a ball in your hand, you've got to make do with what there is.
We got a chance to watch Shaq Daddy the other night, and we will get another chance to watch him versus the Washington Wizards.
Yeah.
Just tell me from your side, that whole experience of being in an NBA arena, how was it like?
I can't remember. I just sat there and I stared at Shaq and I couldn't believe I was watching him. And that's why I'm looking forward to Saturday night to see him again and just soak it up a little bit more. It's another basketball game. It's a bit different to what you see on TV. Timeouts are longer. It's difficult for teams to get momentum, and it just again reinforced how gifted those athletes really are.
So it's time to find out if you know your hoops. The answer is B, Michael Jordan. Playing for Washington Wizards at the time, Michael Jordan, who was born in Brooklyn, New York, and who's a legend of basketball, is no stranger to the incredible act of charity, who actually donated his entire annual salary of $1 million US. After the break, we continue to bring you all the sights and sounds of the Engine All-Star Tour as 12 kids go on an experiential trip of a lifetime. It's New York City, the Big Apple, right here on your one-stop shop of basketball. This is Slam Dunk. Slam Dunk, powered by Engine. Still in New York City, and we took a trip to Hofstra University with the NCAA Division I women's basketball team and a host of male basketball stars in the NBA. With many of the All-Stars being high school students, this was a chance to see what it would be like to experience the next step, tertiary education.
Sure, Buffett, we're here at Hofstra University, and the place is huge. We got a chance to talk to the coaches. We got a chance to interact with some of the players. Funny enough, they are very interested in African ball players coming down here and showing what they have. Now, it's all good and well that we have facilities, we have weight rooms and wooden courts, but at the end of the day, the responsibility lies with us to go back home, wake up early, and put in work.
He might be reserved off the court, but he sure does display determination on the court. Denwin Jones takes it all in his stride, looking for any opportunity he can get.
All right, my brother, speaking to Denwin Jones, okay, made him an IPT tournament, an all-star, obviously earned his trip here to New York. Okay, we got a chance to see Hofstra University today. That's where we are today. So just seeing the size of this place, brah, what do you think about it?
Yo, that's actually what I expected here. Seeing it on the movies, like the size like big, you get like a sports arena for every court, basketball, volleyball, anything. You get everything. It's huge, the cafeteria. See, what more does a student want to be here?
Yeah. Now we're watching the teams do drills. Now the drills are not much different from what we do at home, okay? But from your point of view, just watching these guys work out, what would you say puts them a notch up higher than us?
I think it's the spirit, the heart, the anxiety, the anxiety of wanting to practice, wanting to be on the court, and communication. That is what makes them higher than us.
The drills might be the same, but Denwen's teammate at Montana Vikings, Cheslin Peterson, aka Cheesy, is well impressed with all the gear and facilities he has seen thus far on the trip.
You can see they got practice kits, and like back home we don't have that kind of. So look at the facilities, it's mind-blowing.
For sure. Now, watching the practice, do you think they're really that exceptional? Do you think they're really that good to the point where we can never reach them, or do you think you can hang?
Yeah, for sure I can. Practice is the same. Guys are the same. Probably some guys are stronger than others. But I think with more practice and playing with guys more stronger than me, I'll be in a couple of years, a year or two, I'll be back.
One common trend seems to be observed by the South Africans. The training drills at home and abroad are exactly the same. But with that in mind, Craig Daniels has been going deep undercover to unlock the key to the success of the USA teams.
The drills are the same. There's a few things they do differently. The intensity of the drills, everything is run against time. There's always, all during practice, guys just keep going, so that keeps the intensity up. And if you're practicing at that intensity for 2 hours every single practice, it automatically flows to your game. And we see that all the time. Coaches will come from overseas to our IPT and they'll see the kids and see these kids are gifted, but we just don't play at a level that's intense enough for us to get better all the time. We only play well when we're playing against good players. If we play against a player that's below average, we go to their level instead of forcing them to come up to our level.
One player the South African public should keep an eye on is 6'4", Isaac Salane. At only 16 years old, he has 2 more years in the under-18 program and one to watch in the 2005 Interprovincials.
Okay, I'm talking to Mr. Jack in the Beanstalk over here. Is it your first trip to the States or overseas, as a matter of fact?
Yeah, it's my first trip. Yeah.
Okay, how has it been like for you? Has it been everything that you've hoped it would be?
So far, so good. Yeah, actually, I mean, go to big schools, see big guys play. In fact, today we're gonna see Shaquille O'Neal play.
Sure.
Yeah, that's like a great thing.
Yeah. Now let's talk about Shaquille O'Neal. He plays the position that you play in, and you got a chance to play against the E41 College in a community hall. How was that like for you? Your first time overseas, and boom, you jumped into the deep end playing a game. How was it like?
Well, it was surprising. I didn't play well, and I'm hoping on my next game I'll play better.
Okay. What do you think stopped you from playing well? What was the cause?
Oh, actually, maybe it was the excitement, and the confusion, because I was excited playing against the United States team, being in the United States,
I believe in you, she believes in you, everybody believes in you.
Having not won their match against the New York Gazelles early in the week, it was back to the drawing board for Coach Mercy, who was making a special effort to learn and watch the serious nature in which practices are conducted at university level. She still believes that the All-Star team has the skill and temperament to shine in this competitive environment.
Pressure is getting across us. You are sorely mistaken. Now clean it up.
Let's look at the team that you have here. These girls, Abo, Natalie and all of them, when you see them back home playing, and when you come to these practices and you see these girls playing, do you really think they have a chance to make it in the States, even if it's playing for a college team, not even going all the way to the WNBA?
I think South Africa has a lot of talent. They can match up. It's just that we need a lot of experience, and I believe whenever they can come here or play college basketball, they can do it.
One thing that our players have mastered very quickly is the skills of shopping. Our very own Sia is not far behind. A visit to the NBA store had the kids and coaches in euphoria. If you want to find merchandise from all your favorite NBA and WNBA teams, this huge store has lots to offer. It's a sports emporium based on a gym with lightwood floors and a half court, complete with team tees, jerseys and novel gifts. This bustling basketball temple carries it all, with some fun activities to keep you entertained. One showpiece that caught the attention of the Engine All-Stars was a life-size replica of Shaq and his larger-than-life shoes. Yao Ming, the tallest player in the NBA, had his sneaks in the window as well. If the two boys from KZN were not shooting hoops, they were shooting themselves, getting jiggy with the camera for the next b-ball hip-hop music video. After the break, we travel to the capital of America, Washington, D.C., to put the players in a better state to lead the country as ambassadors of basketball. It's your one-stop shop of basketball. This is Slam Dunk. Slam Dunk, powered by Engine.
We are here with the South African Engine All-Star team, which has been blazing a trail from New York City all the way to Washington. They have been creating a buzz bigger than George Bush's re-election. This is Siabawang Wegazi reporting for Slam Dunk, White House. Back to you in the studio, Bob.
A trip to the United States would not be complete without a visit to the capital, Washington, D.C. With its many memorial sites and federal buildings, visitors to the city can enjoy an overwhelming display of historical culture, from the Supreme Court to the Washington Monument, and of course, the famous Lincoln Memorial.
Check the shoes, check the shoes. Those are Abraham Lincoln's right there. ALs. Get him a Foot Locker, 1908, baby.
It was at Washington that we had the opportunity to go to a school with incredible basketball history. In women's basketball, they have been regional champs, state champs, and perhaps most notable for being part of history, as they participated in the first ever televised women's game. The men's have an incredible list of players who have graduated to the Pro League and recently made headlines as they became the 2004 Atlantic Coast Conference men's basketball champs, beating Duke Blue Devils in overtime 95-87.
From NY now to Washington, we're at Maryland University, the home of Steve Franchise, the home of Juwan Dixon, the home of Chris Mouton, Lonnie Baxter. I can go on for 2002 national champions for the NCAA. They came here all to do what? Take it all in.
In 2002, a new began at Maryland as we'll move to its new home, the Cast Center, and a mentor at the helm of women's basketball, Associate Press National Coach of the year, Brent Reeves. And is currently team around and hunting for an ace title NCAA championship.
The secrets I have vision players up in terms of gains of self-confidence and esteem, being hopefully motivating coach, and really being as positive as I can with them, patient as they learn the process and what it takes to play at this level.
Now, for us at home, I want to pump the fact that education is a big part of it as well. On your side, you've got Grand Masters. About that, how you would basically spread time before asking your education to make sure that your dreams do come true.
It's important. I mean, players, student athletes, and the student comes first. So we really put a very big emphasis on the academics. They're going to graduate with a degree and go on to the real world. So they got to focus. They have to balance. It is tough, and battle take a lot of time, but make sure that they prioritize academic and as much focus as well.
It's cool. My brothers and my mom. Yeah. And the other one's is basketball in his hands.
Engine All-Star Tour been an incredible eye-opener for the players. They have more sympathies, court, medal, and the best environment for the players to achieve maximum results. Without these ladders, is it possible to perform at the highest level? We the to Craig Daniels.
Influx on this side way better, and obviously helps. Do you think that's all it would play? Is there, does the responsibility lie with every individual basketball player to put something into it?
So Angola has probably just a little bit more than what compared to what we see in the US. 100 million stadium and so on. Angola doesn't have, but look what they're achieving. So the responsibility always, if they pick up that responsibility for us to work with them, we keep on trying to create in spite of our. They've got to take some responsibility. Just have a response as well. If individuals can take responsibility, we'll get ahead much.
Manager for the team has taken some words of advice from the American coaches. She has pearls of wisdom on how this just be improved takes South African basketball to the future.
We will focus more in ourselves, more time to basketball. For example, we need not concentrate in one club. We need to coach from 4 schools and 3 clubs, and just to concentrate on basketball, not do anything else. We need to devote our time there.
It's easy for Americans to say all of these. They've got the facilities, they've got the money and the backing. They've got professional leagues both for guys and for girls. Do you think that if there was that sort of structure at home where for both girls, do you think it'd be easy for people to drop what puts food into their mouths to try and push back?
For sure, I think that is of the things with South Africa, basketball, both men and women. In the past, it used to be men. If we have that situation in South Africa, and I'm confident that the players we have, it can bring fun.
The company that builds and the team of success of exposing these to a bubble that is as big as the Asian nation can do. And hopefully the learning that can be passed on to the various of the country.
The engine has clearly given that they want that to basketball. I think there's in the sport message out that kids should become of the wonderful world. They should connect clubs in your school, child there, and just the experience over the past has us up to some wonderful week. Our program. So yes, is committed. Will be a future and a message to the get out there, come part of our program.